Free shipping. No delivery charge. We'll cover the postage. Every single day, millions of people click Add to Cart, see those three magic words, and feel a small rush of satisfaction. Free. Something for nothing. A win. But here's the thing. Shipping a package from a warehouse to your front door costs real money. Fuel, drivers, vans, warehouses, packaging, logistics software. None of that is free. So if you're not paying for it, who actually pays? Let's start with the basics. What does it actually cost to ship something? Take a typical online order, a pair of trainers, 45 pounds. The retailer is offering free standard delivery. The average cost of shipping a small parcel in the UK or US sits somewhere between 3 and 8 pounds, depending on weight, distance, and carrier. In the US, ground shipping for a small box runs $6 to $10. For heavier items or expedited delivery, much more. That's not a rounding error. That's a real unavoidable cost that someone has to absorb. So retailers have 4 options. 1. Eat the cost themselves and take it out of their profit margin. 2. Raise product prices to hide the cost inside the item. 3. Charge for shipping and risk losing the sale. Or 4. Some combination of all 3. Here's what the data tells us about which option most retailers actually choose. The most common answer is option 2, and most shoppers never notice. A 2022 study by the National Retail Federation found that 75% of consumers expect free shipping, and 50% will abandon a cart if they see a delivery charge at checkout. So retailers face a psychological problem. Charging £5 shipping on a 40-pound item feels insulting, but raising the item price by £5 and calling delivery free, that barely registers. Same total, completely different emotional response. This is called price bundling, and it means in most cases, you are paying for free shipping. You're just doing it invisibly inside the product price. But what about the big players? Amazon ships billions of packages a year. Are they just burying it in product prices too? Not exactly. Amazon plays a much more sophisticated game. Amazon loses money on shipping consistently. In 2022, Amazon's shipping costs exceeded $83 billion, more than their entire worldwide retail profit. So how is this sustainable? 3 letters: Prime. Amazon Prime has over 200 million subscribers worldwide, paying anywhere from $15 to £9 a month. That's a predictable, recurring revenue stream that partly subsidizes shipping costs. But that's still not the full picture. Amazon makes the majority of its profit from Amazon Web Services, its cloud computing division. The retail operation, including all that shipping, essentially runs as a customer acquisition tool. Get people buying on Amazon, lock them into Prime, then sell them cloud services, advertising, and streaming. Amazon Prime members pay for shipping upfront, and non-Prime orders are loss leaders designed to convert shoppers into subscribers. The shipping subsidy is a growth investment, not a charity. There's a third player in this game that almost nobody talks about: the supplier. Large retailers, Amazon, Walmart, ASOS, Tesco, have enormous negotiating power. When they promise customers free shipping, one of the ways they fund it is by pressuring their suppliers to lower wholesale prices, absorb logistics costs, or fund what are called vendor contributions, essentially a fee suppliers pay just to have their products listed or featured. A small manufacturer selling to a major retailer might find that free shipping for the end customer ultimately comes out of their margin. They can either accept the terms or lose the contract. The shipping cost often travels up the supply chain. Suppliers absorb pressure to fund the free promise, and that cost can eventually trickle down to workers through lower wages or back to consumers through gradual price increases. There's one more hidden cost that doesn't appear on any balance sheet. Free shipping has dramatically increased return rates. When returning something costs nothing, people buy more and return more. Online fashion return rates sit at around 30 to 40%. Every return means another van journey, more packaging, more emissions, and returned items often can't be resold and go straight to landfill. A 2023 report estimated that returns from online shopping generate 24 million metric tons of CO2 annually in the US alone. Free shipping has a cost that doesn't show up on your receipt. It shows up in the atmosphere. So, back to our original question. Who actually pays for free shipping? Number one, you, the customer, most of the time, through higher product prices, through your Prime subscription, through the returns chaos you participate in without realizing. Number two, the supplier, when retailer pressure pushes logistics costs up the chain to manufacturers and their workers. Number three, the retailer, sometimes, as a deliberate investment in customer loyalty and acquisition, a race to the bottom that rewards the biggest players. And number four, everyone, through the environment. The CO2 cost is socialized across the planet. Nobody pays it today. Everyone pays it eventually. The uncomfortable truth is that free is a marketing word, not an economic one. Every free shipping label represents a cost that has been hidden, moved, deferred, or distributed, but never eliminated. Nothing is free. Someone always pays. This time, it was mostly you. Next time you're shopping online and you see free shipping, ask yourself, where did this cost go? Is it hidden in the price? Is a Prime subscription covering it? Is a supplier somewhere being squeezed to make it happen? Once you start asking that question, you can't stop asking it, which is kind of the whole point of this channel. If you want to keep pulling back the curtain on how money actually moves, who really pays, who really profits, and what we're not being told, subscribe. Every episode, we follow the money somewhere new. Do not forget to like, share this video, and tell us what you think in the comments. Tell your friends and family so they'll be aware of who actually pays. Next week, who actually pays for cashback rewards? Spoiler, it's not the bank. I'll see you there.